The photo world is about to absolutely explode, and Nikon is holding the match. For 6 long, painful years, Nikon shooters have been left out in the cold. You have been staring at your Z7 II, watching the calendar flip, and feeling like a completely forgotten child. While Sony and Canon fans have been feasting on insane AI autofocus and lightning-fast stack sensors, Nikon gave you nothing but crumbs and minor firmware updates. The silence from Nikon headquarters has been absolutely deafening. But right now, the crickets have finally stopped chirping. The leaks have officially turned into a massive, unstoppable flood. The Nikon Z7 III is real, it finally has a rumored price tag, and the specs are designed to throw a heavy, devastating punch straight at the competition. But we have to ask the ultimate question. Is it a little too late? The competition hasn't just been standing in the ring with Nikon. Sony and Canon have been winning by a brutal technical knockout for 2 years straight. Today, we are breaking down every single leak, every internal whisper, and every supply chain secret to see if Nikon is truly back in the game. Are they making a legendary comeback? Or are they just arriving at a party that ended at midnight? Let's be real for a second because the timeline here is honestly painful. If you are a Nikon shooter, you have earned the exact right to be a little salty. The original Z7 dropped way back in 2018. It was a bold start for their full-frame mirrorless journey. The Z7 II followed in 2020, which fixed the single card slot drama but kept the exact same slow internal soul. Since then, it has been total radio silence. For 6 long years, Nikon has been completely hyper-focused on the Z8 and the Z9. We get it because those are incredible machines. They are the sports and cinema giants that put Nikon back on the map and proved they could build elite mirrorless tech. But in that process, Nikon seemingly forgot about the exact people who built their reputation in the first place. They forgot the landscape photographers, the studio artists, and the portrait pros. While Nikon was busy perfecting the Z9, Sony released the powerful A7R and the A7R. Canon dropped the R5 and the stunning R5 Mark II. Even Fujifilm managed to update their medium-format monsters twice. Nikon hasn't just been late, they have been dangerously late. But according to the latest supply chain whispers, the painful wait ends in the autumn of 2026. Let's talk about the money, because this is where the Nikon value myth either lives or dies. The rumored price for the Z7 III is currently sitting right between $3,000 and $3,500. For context, the Sony a7R is chilling at $3,500, and the Canon R5 II demands a steep $3,900. If Nikon can actually hit that sweet spot of $3,299, they become the value king overnight. They absolutely need to undercut Sony by at least $200 to convince people to stay. In a world where inflation has turned mid-range cameras into crazy luxury items, that small price gap is the only thing that will stop a loyal Nikon user from glancing at a Sony catalog. If they push past $3,500, they aren't just in trouble, they will become completely invisible. People do not wait 6 long years just to pay a premium for hardware that feels like a catch-up project. Nikon needs to prove to the world that brand loyalty has a financial reward. Now let's get right into the guts of this thing, because the leaked specs are where the real story hides. We are looking at a brand new 61-megapixel stacked BSI sensor. Stacked is the absolute magic word here. If you don't know why that matters, listen very closely. The old Z7 sensors were beautiful, but they were incredibly slow. They had terrible rolling shutter issues that made the electronic shutter almost useless for anything moving faster than a turtle. A stacked sensor changes the entire math of the camera. It means lightning-fast readout speeds, zero distortion in your electronic shutter, and a massive boost to autofocus calculations per second. On top of that, you are looking at 8K video at 60p and 4K video at a smooth 120p. This is the exact hybrid powerhouse Nikon should have released 3 years ago. It finally matches the Sony and Canon benchmarks, giving landscape and wildlife pros the slow-motion tools they have been begging for. Under the hood, the Z7 III is rumored to jump straight to the EXPEED 8 processor. This is a massive curveball because the flagship Z9 is still running on the older EXPEED 7. Jumping a full generation ahead means the Z7 III will have way more processing headroom than the most expensive camera Nikon sells today. This new digital brain brings advanced AI-powered autofocus to the table. We are talking about real-time tracking for birds, cars, planes, and even insects that actually stays locked on regardless of the lighting. It is also highly expected to handle in-camera AI noise reduction. Imagine shooting at a high ISO of 6400 and getting a file that looks like it was shot at ISO 400, simply because the processor cleaned it up beautifully before the data even hit your memory card. The body itself is expected to look and feel like a mini Z8. You get that deep, professional grip and all the tactile buttons you love, but in a much lighter frame. For the dedicated landscape shooters who hike 10 miles into the wilderness for one perfect sunset shot, every single gram saved is an absolute blessing. But here is the cold, hard truth that most fanboy channels will never tell you. Specs on a piece of paper do not mean a single thing if the real-world execution fails. Nikon has 3 massive hurdles to clear with this launch. First is the autofocus reliability. Sony is still the undisputed king of sticky autofocus. When a Sony camera locks onto an eye, it acts like it is permanently glued there. Canon is a very close second place. Nikon is currently in a respectable third place, but respectable does not win gold medals. If the Z7 III still hunts for focus in low light or loses a subject behind a single blade of grass, it is an instant deal-breaker. The second problem is the lens ecosystem. Nikon's S-line lenses are optical masterpieces, and they are arguably the best glass in the world. But they are heavy, and they are wildly expensive. When a Sony 50mm f/1.2 is hundreds of grams lighter than the Nikon equivalent, professional wedding photographers notice that difference by the end of a long 12-hour day. Plus, Nikon is still very protective of their lens mount. While Sony users enjoy a giant buffet of affordable lenses from Sigma and Tamron, Nikon users are often forced to pay the heavy first-party tax. The third problem is pure timing. By the time this camera actually hits the store shelves in late 2026, the Sony a7R VI will have already been on the market for over a year. Sony can easily slash their price by $300 on Black Friday, and suddenly Nikon's entire value argument completely evaporates. Nikon is playing defense in a game where they used to set the rules. Right now, they are clearing out old Z7 II stock with massive discounts. This is the clearest sign that the successor is right around the corner. They need to completely flush the warehouses before they can announce the new king. It is a smart business move, but it is a highly frustrating one for the loyal fans who have been holding onto their 2020 gear while the rest of the photography world moved fast into the future. So what is my honest opinion on this? The Nikon Z7 III looks like a true masterpiece of engineering that is sadly arriving a day late and $1 short. If you are already deep in the Nikon ecosystem, if your gear closet is completely full of Z-mount glass, and you absolutely love the way a Nikon body feels in your hand, this is the exact upgrade you have been dreaming about. It is the perfect tool for ultra-high-resolution stills, massive gallery prints, and aggressive cropping. It completely fixes every single complaint we ever had about the Z7 II. But if you are a working professional who needs a brand new camera today to put food on the table, you simply cannot afford to wait for maybe and soon. You should buy the Sony or the Canon right now, and you should not look back. Nikon is not trying to win over brand new converts with this camera. They are simply trying to stop the bleeding and keep their most loyal fans from jumping ship to other brands. It is a retention camera, not a conquest camera. Nikon has spent 6 years perfecting this design, and while they were working in secret, the entire world changed. High resolution is no longer the magic novelty it used to be. Today, photographers want extreme speed, we want advanced AI, and we want flawless reliability. The Z7 III seems to have all of that, but it carries the heavy, crushing burden of 6 years of expectations. If this camera does not absolutely floor the tech reviewers on day one, it might be the last high-res dedicated body we see for a very long time as the Z8 continues to swallow up that market share. If you liked the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. When the official announcement finally drops from Nikon, I will be right here with a full-spec breakdown within 24 hours to tell you if the leaks were right, or if Nikon pulled a fast one on us. So, are you still Team Nikon and waiting it out? Or have you already switched to the competition? Let me know your story in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and remember, the best camera in the world is the one you have in your hand right now, not the one you are waiting for in a rumor mill. Go shoot something amazing.